Today, we have news of epic performance for the new Apple iPhone 14, and I'll be sharing the details right after this. So today, we've got news of improved performance to the iPhone 14 Pro models along with more confirmations of the whole range. Before we get started though, like the video if you're a fan of Apple, let me know in the comments who out there is waiting for the iPhone 14. If you haven't already, then hit subscribe now, so you don't miss a thing in the future. So first story of the day, we've got some worrying news that an iPhone 14 production facility was forced into a 7-day lockdown which created many fears of delays. Now the production plant is in Shenzhen, and it was forced to do a closed-loop lockdown, and this means that only the employees that actually live on site are now able to work. Now, there's no mention on delays to the iPhone 14 productions yet, and to be honest, we've heard plenty of news that Apple are doing things ahead of the usual schedule in preparation for any issues like this. We also have news from reliable analysts that during Apple's quality control tests, it's been discovered that some of the rear lenses are suffering from a coating crack. Now, thankfully, the impact on the iPhone 14 shipments is still going to be minimal thanks to new suppliers stepping in to address the issue. Now, according to a reliable source, Apple has transformed around 10 million of the lens orders to a new supplier login, so there aren't going to be any delays. Next up, we've got more confirmations that the iPhone 14 models are actually going to use different chipsets across the range, which is not normally the case for the latest iPhones. We had many rumors early on, and it now seems very likely that this is going to be the case. The iPhone 14 and then the iPhone 14 Max are going to be using last year's A15 chipset, although it may be slightly modified or renamed. Then the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max are going to use the new A16 Bionic. The A16 is still going to be a 5nm chipset, the same as last year's, but it's going to be produced on a new 5nm process node called N for P, and it's expected to bring an 11% improvement in performance and then a 22% improvement in the energy efficiency. Now, while it may be disappointing to hear that some of the iPhone 14 are going to have the same chipset as last year's phone, it is sort of good news for iPhone 13 users. You were previously only guaranteed 5 years of software updates, but with the new phones using the same chipset, then it likely means a guarantee of 6 years. Now, next up we have news that the iPhone 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max are going to come with even better performance, thanks to newer and faster memory. Now, last year's model it came with 6GB of RAM, while the iPhone 14 Pro models are still gonna come with the 6GB. It is actually much better RAM, while the previous models were using LPDDR4X. The iPhone 14 Pro as well as the 14 Max are going to be using LPDDR5 memory, and this is up to 1.5 times faster. The iPhone 14 series is going to launch in September 22nd, and as more and more leaks are coming, I will continue to share them as they do. As always, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. So who out there is excited for the Apple iPhone 14, and what model are you waiting for? Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys on the next.